We have finished knitting the cuff rib 1-1, the introductory collar work that helped you get used to doing collar work. We're gonna have other projects that will help you expand this skill you were learning here. Then we finished knitting the leg with the 3-1 rib pattern, 3 knit 1 purl for 24 rounds. And now we are ready for the heel flap. So now for the heel flap, we're going to pick up where we left off at the last round, and we're going to slip and knit in this way. Slip the first stitch, so I'm slipping it knitwise, which means I'm going to come here. I don't want it twisted, so I'm going to slip. Now I'm going to knit 19 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Be careful not to flip stitches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This needle is freed. We're going to put it to the side. We don't need it for right now. We'll continue on. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We pull this needle out. We combined the 20 stitches onto this one needle. Instead of continuing the round, we are going to flip our work. Now we have the wrong side here, the inside of the sock. Yarn is in front for purling. And now I do slip 1, purl to the end of the row. So purl 19 stitches to get to the end of the row. I get to the end of this row and I turn my work. I'm ignoring these 2 needles for now. I turn my work and now I need to do this pattern here. This pattern is slip 1, knit 1 on the face. How many rows of that did we do? We needed to make 2.5 inches here. So we had, let's see here, so these were my 2 rows, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to measure and see if we're correct in counting. All right, let's get started. Slip 1, knit 1. Slip 1, knit 1. Slip, knit, slip, knit. Slip means you don't knit it, you just take it over to the needle and then you knit the next one. If you have to slip the last stitch, you need to go back or somewhere you skipped slipping and knitting interval. So it was right. Let's find out where I did that. You will undo your row until you see that you double stepped. Here, I double stepped at the very beginning. Slip knit, slip knit. Okay, I've come to the first slip knit row. I turn my work and now I slip the purl stitch first and then purl to the end, being careful not to twist the stitches. So I want to purl to the end. Because it is very tricky to count these rows, you will want to write this down. If you make fewer or more rows for a smaller or larger sock, you will want to write that down. Okay, now we do another slip knit row. Slip, knit, slip, knit. Right, we will turn the work and we will slip and purl to the end. All right, I'm going to pause the video here to finish 10 rows and to avoid making the video too long. Then I'm going to show you how to turn the heel after you have finished all 12 of these slip knit rows. This is now my 12th row. I want to show you how you count it. After finishing the rib, you first knitted across one row. Then you purled across one row. That purl was your 1. Then you did knit slip for 2, purl for 3, knit slip 4, purl 5, knit slip 6, purl 7, knit slip 8, purl 9, knit slip 10, purl 11, and now knit slip for 12. It is very important to make sure you always slip first, knit second on these knit slip rows or slip knit rows, because you want those ribs to strengthen your yarn to be consistent and not become a checkerboard. All right, now it is time to turn the heel. We are going to turn our work to the wrong side. We see the inside of the heel flap, and we are going to slip one stitch with yarn in front we're going to purl 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yarn in front, needle goes through 2 stitches together. You purl 2 of them together. You stop. You will turn your work now. It's going to look like a little gap here, but that's okay because we will fix it later. Now we are on the right side. We are going to slip 1, knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now needle goes through 2 stitches together. You knit 2 together. I apologize. We have to go back to our gap. I'm realizing I made an error. This is where we did purl 2 together. After you purl 2 together, you have to purl 1 more. These errors will happen to you as well. That's why I'm leaving them in the video so that I can show you. You just go back to the beginning. So you purl 1, then you turn your work. Now you slip 1. Now you knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now your needle goes through 2 stitches. You knit 2 together, and then you knit 1 more. You will have 5 stitches left on the needle, and you will turn your work. Now you're going to slip 1 and purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see the gap? We're 1 stitch before the gap. We will purl these 2 stitches together, purl 1 more stitch, and now turn your work. Slip 1, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 1 stitch before the gap. Knit 2 stitches together to close the gap. Knit 1 more. 3 stitches left on the needle. Turn your work. Slip 1, purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 1 stitch before the gap. Purl 2 together. Purl 1 more. 2 stitches left. Turn your work. Slip 1 and knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 stitch before the gap. Knit 2 together. Knit 1 more. 1 stitch left. Turn your work. Slip 1, purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 stitch before the gap. Purl 2 together. Knit, purl 1 more. No stitches left on the needle. Turn your work. Slip, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One stitch before the gap, knit 2 together. We have finished turning the heel. You can see the turn right here. Now we are ready to set up for the gusset. Okay, if you look at this sock, you have the cuff, you have the leg, you have the heel flap, you have the heel turn. For gusset, we have to work on this triangular space here that will give us comfortable depth. To do that, we're going to look at the heel flap that we have created. And we have the left side of the flap. We have the right side of the flap. This part of the sock is called the instep. These 2 needles will start knitting the instep. So what we are doing right now, let's look at this sock. We are working on the gusset, which is this little triangular space, and beginning to knit the rows of the instep. All right, first we need to go down the left side of the heel flap and pick up the stitches. How to pick up the stitches? I want you to look carefully at all the slipped stitches here along the edge. You can notice these little V's, like a beautiful chain on the edge of your work. Each of these we're going to use to pull yarn through to create a stitch. So here I already have this belonging to that row. I go below. Here's one. I'm going to pull the yarn through with my free needle and make a stitch. Next one, I go under, pull the yarn through, make one more stitch. I have 2. Next, 3, next, 4, next, 5, next, 6, next, 7, and we have come to the end. 7 stitches picked up along the left side of the heel flap. Now I come this way. I take the free needle that's been waiting for me, and I continue this 3-1 pattern for the top of the instep. 1, 2, 3, purl. 1, 2, 3, purl. 1, 2. I will take my free needle, put it on the side. Continue knitting across the next needle. Knit. Purl. 1, 2, 3, purl. 1, 2, 3, purl. Now I have gone across the top of the instep, and now I have come to the right side of the heel flap. I have to climb up, picking up the stitches along the chain on the edge of my work in the same way I did on the other side. So I can look here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent. Here's my 1. My 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is what it looks like right now. Here's my heel turn. Now I want to come to the middle of my heel turn for my new beginning of the round. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 12 stitches. I want 6 on this needle and 6 on this needle. But I don't have enough needles to do all of that. So what can I do? I can make what's called a knitting marker. I can take a little piece of white yarn and I can tie a little loop. Here's my little loop. When I come to the middle, I will put this in place. Here we go. I knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm in the very middle. I put my marker here. That's the middle of the heel. And I continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I call this the beginning of my round now? Because I want to work evenly, decreasing these stitches until there are no more left on left and right. And I go around here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's begin. I pick this up. Now we begin here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 together. You want to do them this way. Slip, slip, put them back, picking them up from behind. Now knit 2 together. And knit 2. 1, 2. Go to the instep, follow the pattern all the way across 3, 1. You're at the end of the instep row. You're going to go to the gusset side. You're going to knit 2, 1, 2. You're going to knit 2 together. You will knit to the end of this needle. Now you go to the heel turn. When you come to the marker, you have decreased the gusset by 1 stitch on either side. Now you slip the marker and go on to decrease by one more stitch on either side. Knit 1, 2, you're going to knit 2 together. You want to turn them by slipping 2 over, putting them back in the reverse order. Knit 2 together, 1, 2. Knit the instep pattern across the middle, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, come to the next side of the gusset. Want to do the decrease. 1 knit, 2 knit, knit 2 together, knit 2, go to the heel. When you get to the marker, you have decreased each side of the gusset by 2 stitches. Okay, now we start over, decrease by another stitch. Knit 1, knit 2 together, slip them over, put them back in reverse order, knit together, knit 2. You now have only 4 stitches. We have finished our decreases. Knit across the pattern. Three knit, 1 purl, need to decrease on this side to get 4 stitches. Knit 2, knit 2 together, knit 1. You have 4 stitches. You're now going to work yourself back to having 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're getting back to our start of 40 stitches, 10 on each needle. You don't need your marker anymore. You pick up the free needle, you go back and you make 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull out this needle. Finish to make 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're here, this will now again be the beginning of your round when you get across the instep, you see? So we need to make 10 and 10. 1, 2, 3, keep the pattern, 4 purl, 5, 6, 7, 8 purl, 9, 10. Take the next needle, 11 or 1, purl, 3, 4, 5, purl, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I miscount? Let me double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I did miscount. 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Excellent. I am back to the beginning of the round as established after the adventure of the heel flap, turning the heel and decreasing the gusset. You see how I have this little triangle just like I do on this sock? And now it is time to work on the instep. You see how I have this 3-1 pattern going through to make it nice and stretchy. When we work on these simplified patterns with larger needles, we want these types of ribs so that we don't have too loose of a sock. When we work on more advanced sock patterns with thinner yarn and thinner needles, we want to work with different patterns. This one works well here. So how much to knit? This is where you get to adjust the size of your sock. You can keep measuring against your foot, and you will stop at the base of your big toe before we start decreases. This little point here before toe decreases will be the base of your big toe when you're measuring against your own foot. If you want to make this same size, which you can see pictures posted on the channel with exact measurements, you can keep working with me. In the next video, we will count the rows and work on the instep.